Okay. It's another day. It's around 8 in the morning, and there's not much sunlight. Addiction. I was addicted to video games. That was like a big part of my life. Especially someone who's young, 17. I mean, going through college, secondary school. Everyone's gaming. It's kind of, it's kind of fun. So gaming was a big addiction for me. And some of you out there who are still like heavily addicted to gaming might say, oh, well, this isn't a bad thing. Like, there are a bunch of wholesome times in gaming, like gaming with friends, So, like, I completely get what you mean. I mean, I remember I had my first Xbox ever was an Xbox 360. And, my first game I ever got was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And all my friends hated it. They didn't want to play that one. I just remember, and then we moved on, and then, what was it? Battle Ops Playgrounds came out, and so like, and I just remember my friends, because I was always on my phone, never had an Xbox, so they enticed me so much to get like an Xbox 360. So, yeah. Gaming, there are some really nice wholesome moments, as with any addiction. But the people out there who probably agreeing to what I said right now, are you telling me that this whole time, during the whole span of when you've been gaming, it's all been wholesome moments? Chances are that it wasn't. A lot of the time you probably went to gaming because your life sucks, you feel depressed, you've had a terrible day, and then you turn to gaming as a sense of comfort, which is fair enough. But that's the thing with sort of like addictions. They give you a sense of instant gratification, pleasure, which is good, but also, as all that comes with the pleasure, must come an equal amount of pain. There's a guy on YouTube, a scientist who explains this in better detail. I can't remember his name. I'll put it in the description. But he basically explains how, with an equal amount of pleasure, must come an equal amount of pain. So it's an endless cycle. You have a terrible day. You get home from work late. You turn to gaming as a way to comfort yourself, to brighten up your day, something to be excited about, your comfort zone. And escapism, a way to escape reality. And then after you've been gaming for like 3, 4, 5 hours, it's 12, and then suddenly you stop, you get ready to go to bed, and then you feel terrible. Because with all the pleasure comes the pain. So then you still feel terrible, give it a few hours later, it's around 5 in the morning, you still feel bad, so after your mind's sort of reset a bit, you turn to gaming again, because I feel terrible, I'm going to do something that's my safe space and cheer me up a bit. And that is addiction. Addiction is an endless cycle of pain. And that's what it is. It's disguised with instant gratification, but that is what it is. And the first step to breaking any addiction is accepting you have an addiction. Chances are you do. You have an addiction to either porn, masturbation, social media, or gaming. One of those. 77% of men, and this was done like out of a survey of 1,500 people, I think. Out of 1,500 guys, 77% of men are addicted to all of these. Are addicted to porn, masturbation, gaming, and social media. Every single one. So the chances are, you're addicted to one. I was addicted to one. I still kind of am. I'm still trying to break the grasp that this world of society or social media that we have. So that's the first step. Admit you have an addiction, and then you can actually start to identify the problem. And the problem is, I'm going to say something that Hamza has said before, and something that you may have no one's probably ever told you. The problem isn't the addiction, it's you. Your mental health. That's the problem first. If you feel sad, you feel depressed, you aren't going to have motivation or the desire to stop the addictions, to stop gaming, because that is a comfort space. It gives you instant gratification. It gives you that sense of safety, a way to escape reality. So if you're depressed, why wouldn't you turn to that? Yes, after you feel just as worse and nothing's changed, except a bunch of wasted time, but for that brief moment, it comforts you. So the problem isn't addiction, the problem isn't gaming, the problem isn't social media, it's the mental health and the mental mindset you have. If you are depressed, and depression isn't sadness, by the way, it's emptiness. A sign of depression is literally just not brushing your teeth every day. An emptiness where life doesn't fill that sort of void. You have no motivation or desire to go out there and explore life to the fullest. So when you have a way to escape life, people tend to take it. Humans tend to take the easier route. That's how life works. Humans learn the hard way. You get to the point where you're like, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish this had never happened. And then you start to change after a life of choosing easy choices to get to that point. So that's the first step, improving your mental health. I mean, if you kind of makes sense. If you're genuinely happy in life, you're working out, you're eating healthy, you read, you meditate, you're genuinely happy in life, you're not getting that screen light, you're getting that sunlight, you aren't going to most likely turn to gaming in a way of dependency as you need it to comfort you. You might turn to gaming just because, say, your kids are gaming. You're super healthy, your kids are gaming, you spend an hour, less than that, having fun with your family, having those wholesome moments. So that's what this is addiction. I'm not saying completely cut out gaming out of your life, although if you do, it's also not a bad thing. Addiction is just the dependency, where the bad habits don't become a comfort zone, where they become crutches, where you can't live without them, or it's very difficult to. And I've been in this position myself, with most of these habits. So if you're genuinely happy, you don't need that instant gratification. So that it kind of makes sense. Mental health is key. Mental health, right up here, in this noggin, in your noggin. This is important. You need to take care of this, because otherwise it will not take care of you. And there are ways to do that. I'll get into a very in-depth guide on how to, but for example, one for me, a massive thing that I did that really started to improve my mental health is working out. I'm obviously you can't see much now, because I've only started for like the past week or two, like 2 weeks now. That's not, but give it a month, then you'll start to see change. But either way, during this 2 weeks, even though I can't see a massive amount of progress, obviously it doesn't happen overnight, I'm seeing bits, but like the amount of happiness and satisfaction that gives me, as if I was gaming. I'm leveling up my body. Like, that is basically what it is. I'm treating life as a game. Get the best of it. By improving on my body and my physical health, it started to help my mindset. It's the same, a strong mind needs a strong body. They come in two, like they're yin and yang, you can't get rid of one or the other. So it goes the same the other way. A strong body starts to develop a strong mind. Starts the will of wanting to develop a strong mind. I think that's more accurate. When I started improving my mental health, I started wanting to improve my physical body. And then I started improving my physical body, I wanted to improve my mind. So that is a good cycle to get into, rather than instant gratification, same amount of pleasure, same amount of pain, addiction, same loophole. a shitty day after a shitty day. So that was one. Meditation is another. Meditation is a way to let my mind let me really get a grasp of my mind, sort of focusing on my breathing and breathing in and out my nose, not through my mouth. So like fully focus on breathing, and then when my mind drifts off, using that mind strength to bring it back to focus on my breathing. Like Hamza once said, that's like a rep for your mind. That's working your mind. It's not bad when you drift off in thought. Everyone does. Especially guys. If a guy tells you he's thinking about nothing, chances are he's thinking about nothing. So it's easy for our minds to drift off, but bringing it back, that's a sign of gaining that mental strength. So meditation is really important. After I've done it for like 30 minutes, after I've done it for like 30 minutes, and I'm outside, and I open my eyes, take a big, deep breath of fresh air, it feels like I'm high on life, rather than high on drugs. It's so different. You don't need to go back into these addictions of drugs, porn, masturbation, gaming, social media. You don't need to when life is giving you the best benefit. Life is becoming that comfort zone. You are becoming your own comfort zone in your mind. And then the last thing is reading. I kind of link reading and meditation together because both really calm your mind. Both really helps you just get really down to earth, grasp your reality, that this is the world around you and it's not going anywhere, so you may as well get the best you can in this world. You only got one life, live it. So reading was a massive thing, and I'm talking about reading stuff that's helpful. Like me, I'm reading a book called Wabi Sabi by Beth Kempton, and it's basically on it's a Japanese book on history and the balance of perfection in imperfection. Guys, tongue twister. So I read that like 20 minutes before I go to bed. I'm already tired. It tires me, it calms my mind, and I've got good thoughts in my head rather than filling my head with pornography or just social media, seeing other people my age do stuff that's basically soft porn. Which is so screwed up when you say that out loud. And the reason when you get really down to it, to quit addiction, improve your mental health, make it simple, a healthy mind will make healthy decisions. It's as simple as that. A healthy mind will make healthy decisions. And then once I told myself that, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll have a very in-depth guide. I'll also link down in the description the scientist who was explaining to me how addiction is basically an endless cycle of pain. At the amount of pleasure comes pain. So I'll link in the description for that, and I'll also put in Hamza, a video that he's done on how to quit addiction. And like, he's got a full 2-hour guide on improving men's mental health. A lot of you probably already know this. Go watch it. I've watched it. It really helped me, like, get out of this endless cycle. Okay, I'll leave it there. I don't know how long this video was. Love you all. You only got one life. Go live it to the best and the fullest, and try your hardest with everything. Alright.